In Jamaica, United States, President Barack Obama wrapped up an eventful schedule in Jamaica on Thursday. During the historic visit, Mr. Obama met with Caribbean leaders and also engaged young people at a town hall meeting at the University of the West Indies Mona campus. He departed the island late Thursday afternoon from the Norman Manley International Airport. The curtains came down on United States President Barack Obama's historic trip to Jamaica on Thursday. For Caribbean leaders, it was an immense opportunity to further solidify ties with the world's superpower on key issues such as border control and trade. On Thursday, Mr. Obama held bilateral talks with Jamaica's Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, CARICOM Chairman and Bahamian Prime Minister Perry Christie, and other CARICOM leaders. He used the CARICOM USA Summit to reaffirm his administration's commitment to strengthening ties with the region. Those discussions would also conclude with the President signing an energy deal with Jamaica. There was also dialogue on climate change and America's ongoing efforts to reestablish diplomatic relations with CARICOM ally Cuba. But after those talks, it was soon time for President Obama to bid farewell to the island of Jamaica and its people.
And I want to thank Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller for her hospitality and her team. I know it's always a lot of work when I come to visit someplace, and I think that everybody has treated us with wonderful hospitality. We very, very much appreciate that. I assure you that Michelle wishes she was on this trip, although she would insist that I stay longer than one day.
His final assignment was laying a wreath at the National Heroes Park in Kingston in honor of Jamaicans who fought in World War I and II. After which the president was transported in his presidential limousine, referred to as the Beast, to the Jamaica Defense Force Up Park Camp headquarters on South Camp Road. There he was airlifted in his Marine One aircraft to the Norman Manley International Airport. At approximately 5:10 p.m., Air Force One landed at the Norman Manley Airport with Jamaican diplomats waiting on the tarmac to share final words and courtesies before the U.S. President departed. And after what has been described as a historic moment in Jamaican history, President of the United States of America Barack Obama departed Jamaica on Thursday evening at approximately 5:23 p.m. He left from Gate 16 here at the Norman Manley International Airport, but just before he left, he gave his final wave. Mr. Obama's signature wave and smile seemed to indicate that his consultation with regional leaders was fruitful. And if modern nature is anything to go by, a glowing rainbow in the background may be adequate confirmation. After leaving Jamaica, the president traveled to the 7th Summit of the Americas in Panama, where he's also expected to meet with Cuban President Raul Castro on the sidelines of the summit to discuss their ongoing diplomatic re-engagement. And during his visit with young Jamaicans at the University of the West Indies Mona campus on Thursday, President Obama was questioned about his administration's stance on the decriminalization of marijuana. Earlier this year, Jamaica amended its laws to decriminalize the use of 2 ounces of marijuana or less. Mr. Obama conceded that the current mechanism used in the so-called war on illegal drugs is counterproductive, as it pushes young people in particular to become even more marginalized. He further pointed out that he doesn't expect any major change in the U.S.'s marijuana policy at the national level, but he's open to engage in Jamaica and CARICOM on the marijuana issue.
On paper, a lot of folks think, you know what, if we just legalize marijuana, then it'll reduce the money flowing into the transnational drug trade. There are more revenues and jobs created. I have to tell you that it's not a silver bullet. Because, first of all, if you are legalizing marijuana, then how do you deal with other drugs? And where do you draw the line? And so I think we have to have a conversation about this, but our current policy continues to be that in the United States we need to decrease demand. We need to focus on a public health approach to decreasing demand. We have to stop the flow of guns and cash into the Caribbean and Central America and Latin America.